You're listening to the Sales Hunter podcast. My name's Mark Hunter. And hey, how do you prospect with integrity? I'm going to walk you through 8 things you must do because, hey, let's not kid ourselves. Sales is hard. And for most people, prospecting is the hardest part of all. Why am I talking? Let's get the show going right now.
You're listening to the Sales Hunter podcast with Mark Hunter, where the focus is to help you as a sales leader sell with confidence and integrity. And now here's your host.
Okay, let's talk about how do you prospect with integrity and 8 things you need to know because, okay, sales is hard, right? And for most people, prospecting is the hardest part. Challenge is getting both good leads and then turning them into qualified prospects. The entire process can feel slimy, dirty, and one that you just don't want to be associated with. But hey, let me share with you, because it should not be the case. I'm going to share with you right now 8 things you can do to ensure your prospect with integrity. And you know what? When you prospect with integrity, you're going to get customers who have integrity. Number 1, don't close a deal. Hey, we never close a deal. Rather, we open a relationship. I want you to have this mindset absolute. And why is it so important? Because it changes how you think. Because now I'm not trying to close a deal and then move on to the next customer. No, I am staying in touch with you. I'm opening a relationship because I know that there's additional business to be had from you, to serve you, to help you. And that additional business is going to be either directly because I'm going to be able to help you, or you're going to wind up passing me along to other people, sharing me with other people in your company, referring me. It is so valuable. The relationships are what make sales happen. Number 2, serve first before you try to sell. If you are all about just pitching right out of the gate, let me tell you something. You're going to get a lot of rejection. That is not integrity first selling. I wrote the book Integrity First Selling very specifically to help you deal with issues like this. You serve first. What does that mean? You help the customer. You take the time to listen to the customer. You are giving them ideas. You're giving them input. You are helping them. And what that's doing is they are now seeing you in a more confident, competent light. And you know what's interesting? Not only will they be drawn to you, but they'll be drawn to you at a higher margin because they find you being more valuable, and price will not be the reason they buy. Number 3, stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. You know, it's all about knowing your prospect. So many salespeople get into trouble when they begin chasing every single dog out there. They chase every car out there, and then they don't know what they're doing because, again, they're way out over their skis, or they're in space and areas that they just don't have an expertise with. Stay in your lane, know your prospect. Now, what does this do? It allows you to be more confident and competent. And oh, by the way, it helps you do number 2 on the list, which was how in the world do we serve the customer? You serve the customer because you know their industry so well. You know the space that they're in so well. You're able to absolutely provide them insight. And what does this do? It allows you to sleep better at night. It allows you to feel far more comfortable. And what's interesting is when you're more comfortable and you're confident, it's amazing at how it changes the conversation with prospects. It changes it dramatically because they see you as an expert. Number 4 on the list, and you knew I was going to get to this, it's referrals. Yeah, absolutely. Prospecting with integrity is about referrals, but I want you to think about this. How many referrals do you give? You see, what I find fascinating is every salesperson wants referrals. Hey, why not? It's a perfect way to grow your business. But how many are willing to give referrals? Now, I never give a referral with the expectation of getting one in return. No, never. But I am always out there giving referrals. Now, 2 things happen. 1, when I give somebody a referral and it works out, I've made 2 fans. I've made two fans. I've made the person who purchased really thinking positive of me because I connected this person to them. And two, the person who did the selling loves me because I was the one who gave them the opportunity. You talk about building your brand, building your partners out there. Nothing better than by giving referrals. But here's the piece that I say: when I get referrals, I want to do this. When I get referrals from somebody, I got to make sure that I keep the person who referred me up to date, keep them knowledgeable, keep them informed. It only serves really one main purpose: respecting them. You're absolutely respecting them because they went out of their way to refer you to somebody. And if you don't stay in touch with them, you're dissing them. You're doing them a disservice. And that's not integrity. That's not integrity. Stay in touch with them. And what it also does is this: is there that's going to actually encourage them to give you additional referrals. Yes, it will. You'll wind up having this ability to generate additional referrals because you optimized, you treated right the referrals that you did get. Number 5 on the list: know the buyer's timeline and their critical need. You see, here's the whole thing. Too many salespeople operate on the seller's journey. No, that's not integrity centered. Integrity centered is when we're focused on the buyer's journey. In other words, what is the buyer? What's that? Because ultimately, they're the ones that have to make the decision, right? They're the ones that they're the ones that are writing the check. You see, know the buyer's timeline and their critical need. Now, a couple things here. You can't be hesitant in asking difficult questions up front. I get some people say, well, Mark, if I'm integrity centered, that means no. You can still be, I don't want to say harsh, but you can ask tough questions. And the tough questions you have to ask around this one is, what's your timeline for making a decision? And the second one is, why are we even talking? What is the critical need you're trying to solve? The sooner you ask those questions early on, the better off you're going to be. What I see too many times is that salespeople wait. They wait till they get deep into the process before they really understand what the need is and what the timeline is. And then what happens is, wait a minute, hold it. The customer says, well, we're not going to make a decision for 2 years, or the critical need is just not that important. Because remember, right now, especially, customers are only solving their top 1 or 2 issues. If it's not their top 1 or 2 needs, they're not dealing with it. So you got to make sure that the people you're spending time with are those people who have a timeline and a critical need that fit your operating, what you need. You see, my whole goal here when I prospect with integrity is I'm actually prospecting with fewer people. Whoa, what did he say? Yeah, fewer people. But I'm doing it at a deeper level because I've done such things as I've served them first. I've stayed in the lane. In other words, they fit my ICP. I really play close because I'm developing a relationship. This allows me to understand without a doubt what the buyer's timeline is and their critical need. Now, number 6, I love this one. It's provide value as your way to stay in touch. Let's not kid ourselves. Prospects, leads ghost us. They ghost us. They go radio silent on us all the time. And the challenge is I'm sending them notes and voicemails and messages that say, buy for me, checking in, bounce this to the top. Oh, come on, people. That is slimy. That's garbage. The 90s are calling and they want those techniques back because they don't work today. You see, what I got to do is I got to provide value. And this is the way I stay in touch with them. This is why I advocate the 10 list. And again, I talk about this a lot in my book, Integrity First Selling. And you know, if you've listened to the podcast, I talk about 10 lists. These are 10 bullet points that are of critical information, critical insights to help the customer. Not geared to what I sell, geared to help them do their job, help do them. I have dozens of these 10 lists in my own business. And I can send these out. And what does it do? It provides insight and critical information to prospects, and they like me. They appreciate it. And it's amazing the number of times I send these out. And what do? They reach back out. They reach back out because now they're no longer seeing me as a salesperson, but they're seeing me as somebody who can absolutely help them. Providing value as your way to stay in touch is not an excuse to never try to sell. You still got to make sure that they know you're selling. But the value is 90% of the message. Okay. 90% of the message. And then, okay, I can let it slide to 80%, but any way you cut it, don't get it down below 80%. So we'll say it's 80-20. And there is 20% that, hey, I've got an update to this machine. I got an update to this. I've got this that's going to fit your critical need. Reach out, call me. In other words, I always end with a call to action. This is absolutely critical. Again, integrity first selling does not mean that you forego the CTA. Ask yourself this question. Do I have a CTA? Because now stop and think about this for a moment. If you don't have a CTA in there, something's missing. And remember, the customer knows you're a salesperson. They know you're in sales. They know you're in sales. So if they don't sit there and see a CTA, you've lost all credibility. So you might as well live up to your position. And again, you're doing it with integrity because you know you can help them. Because remember, the definition of sales is to help others see and achieve what they did not think was possible. And the definition of prospecting is if you have the ability to help someone, you owe it to them to reach out to them. This is why number 6, providing value as your way to stay in touch, is so critical because you know you can help them. They just have to get to the point where they realize that you're there to help them. Number 7 on the list, be transparent if you're not the right solution. Whoa, drop the mic on this one. Yes. What I have found is this, and this happens many times in my business. I'm just not the right person. We are not the right company to help them. So I refer them to somebody else. Either timing isn't right, budget isn't right, the solution, whatever it might be, any number of things. But I refer them, I pass them over to somebody else. Now, again, what am I doing here? I'm being absolutely transparent in that I'm not trying to push myself into a sale that just is not right. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm basically giving a referral. I'm giving somebody a referral. Go back to what I said, number 4, in terms of referrals. This is the value of referrals. And I'm making fans. Now, here's what I've done. And I've seen this many times, where I have had a prospect, they reach out to me or we're talking to them, but you know what? I'm not the right person. I referred them to somebody else. But subsequently, after the fact, they come back to me with an even bigger opportunity. Whoa, yes, it's happened on multiple occasions. Not every time, but it happens multiple times. Now, here's where I'm going with this. If I am transparent and I'm not the right solution, I give them away, I sleep better at night. Don't sit there and say, Mark, I'm going to miss my quota. I'm going to miss my quota. Hey, you know what? Commission breath, you may have made your quota, but you're going to upset a customer and you're going to pay for it long term because they are not going to see value from what it is that you sold them. Be very careful. Number 8 on the list, don't spray and pray. Keep it tight. This goes back to the whole piece that you can't go sending out. Just because you can send out 1,000 emails, don't go sending out 1,000 emails. I see this time and time again. Keep it tight. Narrow your list. Know your ICP. Stay focused. Your objective is to prospect with fewer people that you know better because you can spend more time with them. Hey, what I've done is I've shared with you 8 techniques, 8 strategies that you need to apply to be able to prospect with integrity, because I truly believe that you can prospect with integrity and feel absolutely good about it. I go into depth on this in my book, Integrity First Selling. I want you to pick up a copy of it. It's absolutely essential reading for you. Hey, 2 episodes a week. One like this, where I do a deep dive on a single topic. Second episode is where I have a subject matter expert. I do want you to do me a favor. Leave me a review on your favorite podcast app, would you? When people leave reviews on various episodes, whether it be on Spotify, Apple Music, whatever, it is amazing at how it helps really spread the word and share it with others. Why do I do the podcast? It's to help you see and achieve what you didn't think was possible, because that is the whole objective of the Sales Hunter podcast. My name is Mark Hunter, the Sales Hunter. Great selling.